talking to each other. Just so like, can you still see your face? Can you see my face?
Should I scoot over a little bit more? No.
Oh, yeah. Whatever you want.
Just go back.
No, I think we're good.
No, we're,
But I want to be able to like look at you and talk. So that here, switch me sides.
it's chilly out here, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe we should go outside.
We'll do like a quick one, and then if we need to go inside, we'll. Okay. Slate. Boop. Nice. Okay, anything off limits?
I mean, I'm open to talk about everything. I think kind of maybe picking and choosing what you publish at the moment
Yeah.
might be a better option. But I mean, I'm willing to talk about everything. I even have some more pictures and names and stuff to show you. So,
I feel like I just got like a dossier.
yeah.
And I'm like, hoo-hoo! That's what I say with the Epstein list. It's not an Epstein list, but with the Epstein list, I've been telling everybody, it's not a list, it's a dossier. People are like, I don't know what that means. And I'm like, a list is like the alphabet is a list. It's a list of numbers. Roll call, if you're in a classroom, if you're a charge nurse, like there's a list of people. A bank record, that's a list. A flight log, that's a list. A dossier is a collection of documents that show the purpose or the intent of what all those lists mean. So you could have hundreds of victims' names, but if you don't have plane tickets, if you don't have bank statements, if you don't have purchase records, if you don't have hotel receipts, if you don't have IP addresses, if you don't have collateral, that's why everywhere I go and everything I do, I walk in, I'm like, hi, my name's Manelick, I'm the Trebuchet, and they're like, do you want a Red Bull, or like, do you want, do you want fries with that? Like what? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not suicidal, have a great day. And they're like, what is wrong with you? And I'm like, that's me creating collateral, so that if there ever is like a dossier on me, it's like, what was she doing where? That's neither here nor there. We're going to put a Bigfoot disclaimer on this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will recall from season 1, when we did we are also trying to stay alive while being good American citizens and invisible patriots, please remember that this is 100% exclusively a podcast about finding Bigfoot. Anything else we talk about, it's just side chatter, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a cat. No, I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
Look.
I know there's a lot of wildcats over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait.
They've been getting a little
Wait.
out of hand lately.
Oh my. Oh my gosh.
See, I'm fucking looking at it.
Oh my gosh. It's not Bigfoot, but it's a cat.
It's the CIA.
Oh my gosh. That's wild. This thing has terrible zoom. Okay. So these are wild cats. Do you think Bigfoot is like eating these cats, or what do you think is happening?
My parents wish he would.
Do they have kittens?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of stray cats around here, and they're kind of going unchecked lately, unfortunately. So they're just.
Oh. Hola, gatito. Okay, that's so cute.
If you want a cat,
Mm-mm.
try to catch you one.
It's a sure, I can get you. It's a pass for me. That's I've got this scar here. It's from a cat. Okay, wow, that was a really great Bigfoot entry segue. We are in the part of the country where, do you guys have beavers around here?
No. We're on a lake, obviously.
Okay.
There's snakes, snapping turtles,
Snakes? What kind of snakes?
cottonmouth, mostly rat snakes, mostly black rat snakes,
Have you seen that?
some garter snakes.
Have you seen that meme where the guy's like, I'm a snake. I'm a snake. I'm a super snake. Have you not seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I'm going to have to send that to you.
I'm on the internet too much, so I'm sure.
Okay, so he's got like a hat that's like a snake. I'm a snake. I'm a super snake. Okay.
But to your point of you're not suicidal.
Yeah,
I
not
don't believe,
suicidal.
I know she's not.
You're not
And
either.
you are definitely finding out some high-profile names and some people who want to keep information a secret.
I'm really trying hard. Like, I'm avoiding high-speed cars. I only travel in old as shit vehicles because they have no GPS monitoring and like no track. Like the people at the, I told you how I was supposed to take a flight out of Miami, and then I told you did I have you told you this yet? Oh my gosh! So Saturday night I had a flight out of Miami at 10 o'clock, and I was trying to smoke out this corrupt CID officer. His name is Christian Nanry. So if I die, go look him up and listen to the audios. I disclosed a sextortion thing that somebody in this space put me in touch with him. And I was like, hey, listen up. It's like a month ago. And I was like, I'm done dealing with this person. He referred you, so I'm going to like keep you as like a contact to send survivors to, because you're an Army Criminal Investigation Division like officer. I don't know if he's a uniformed service member or if he was just an investigator. They are very clandestine with how they do things. But either way, I was like, hey, this guy did this thing, and it's literally a federal crime to do, and at the very least, he should have reported it to the FBI or whoever, or called me back and been like, you're a fucking crazy bitch, and prove it. And I'm like, okay, call Meg. Like, she's the one he extorted with the nudes. Call Kristen Alcott. She's the one with the fucking dog bone in her mouth. Call Kyle Killiver. Call these other people. Don't kill them. They're not suicidal. And even if they're doing fucked up shit in family court, they do not deserve to have fentanyl placed on them. No, that's a no-no. Stop planting evidence on people, even if they're fucking horrific human beings. How about you just try them for the crimes that they're committing in broad daylight? Don't do it dirty. Don't plant shit on them. Go get them in the light of day. This guy threatened to or not threatened, he asked this guy, this father, this is out in Arizona. This is like where the mobsters fucking go. And these are mob tactics. And he goes, you want me to get her to kill herself? Like, she's super suicidal, so I could just push her over the edge. I'll ask her out on a date, then tell her she's out. Like, just fuck up shit. And the guy's like, He's like, yeah, she's fucked up and she's messed up. She's also the mother of my children. So if she kills herself, then they suffer. So it's a no for me. Thank you, though. And I'm like, why didn't you report that? It's like, well, because he's an ex-MLB player worth millions, and he's got a $30 million lawsuit right now against Arizona, like Maricopa County, and these fucking corrupt people who are doing this shit in every single county. And it's just wild. Point of story is, everybody knows something about somebody. Everybody's dirty in this. And until your hands are totally clean and you can sit there and be like, at this point, if you kill me, it's a little bit of a relief because I can rest. If you put me in jail, it's a little bit of a relief because I could start to knit. I could read a book.
Something you said that I was definitely kind of thinking about, and it's the situation that I'm in. It's people who are willing to use a messed up system to benefit themselves, such as what I'm in. These people using the system to adopt my daughter without my consent. It's like they're already players in the game and they understand how messed up the system is. So that definitely kind of says what type of person they are and what's in their head mentally. Just talking to you and listening and learning that, I'm one of thousands of stories, unfortunately. And it's like, a part of you is like, man, I lost my child. This means a lot to me, which I guess makes you feel special in a sense. But then you're also learning, you're like, man, I'm not that special, and people out here are using a system to put one over me.
Yeah. Well, and it's what we were talking about earlier is there are children, like CPS and like adoptions, they exist in our country for a reason. We don't have orphanages anymore because we have the foster care system where children are supposed to enter and then be reunified with their families. And if they can't be reunified with their biological families, then they should be placed for adoption and adopted out. But what we're seeing is that happening in just all of these corrupt and expedited manners. And I'm getting so many reports, and I just follow data. I look for trends and I look for patterns. I'm a historian, and I always go what's the common denominator here? And the common denominator in a lot of these CPS kidnappings is white moms, black dads. They can criminalize or threaten to criminalize in the CPS ones. They can threaten to criminalize or do something with the fathers because the black fathers are like, fuck this, we know the system is corrupt. We know the system is rigged against us. And then the children are really, really beautiful. And I mean, all kids are beautiful, but apparently there's this appetite. And the more that we are discovering, your child is literally a best fucking case scenario. Your child is like a, one of those books that we read, face on the milk carton, like, oh, whoa, and then her mom was her mom before DNA was a thing or before whatever. And you guys are right at the very, very tail end where any of this stuff would ever even, like, in theory, be able to be played out because DNA is a thing.
Well, and now, DNA was in, but, the social media and the internet wasn't what it was back in 2010. It's made leaps and bounds in the past decade and more. And the question is, would they have gotten away with what they did then now?
Yeah.
With resources and the internet and stuff like that. And unfortunately, maybe, probably, because I was young and I didn't have money to fight the system.
But do you think it was money or do you think it was secrecy? Because the more I'm like, when I showed up here, I was like,
well, it's not money because everybody in this game, between my family, I personally, I don't have debt, but I don't have loads of cash at the time.
Your child would have been taken care of.
Yeah,
you
the
had
money,
family,
the money wouldn't have been an issue. It was definitely secrecy, connections that allowed this to play out the way.
So that's what I thought that it was at first. When we first connected, I was like, oh, young couple, mom's just getting out of high school, which, like, out of respect to the mother of your children, we're not saying any names because open adoption, closed adoption, whatever. She went through a pregnancy and her child was adopted out. She knew what she was doing, but she was also right at that cusp age. She and I share a birthday. That was when you said the birthday. I was like, that's my birthday. But being a mom, I remember when I had my first daughter and I was 27 thinking, whew, dodged a bullet, like didn't have any kids out of wedlock after being married for 6 years. That was still in my mind. And so, because I grew up kind of in a situation, not obviously like this, not like West Coast or East Coast, whatever, but my mom was like a well-known physician in our area. And then speaking of conservative politicians, Sarah Palin. Mm-hmm. I started my career as a high school history teacher because Mr. Heath, Sarah's dad, was one of my social studies teachers when I was a kid. He was like the coolest teacher ever. He'd retired and would substitute teach. And whenever you had Mr. Heath, it was like, yay. And then my mom was the physician for the Palin family, so Todd's side of the family. So we knew the Palins. And Sarah was the hockey mom for my little brother's hockey team. And my little brother, Austin, and track played hockey together. And the last time I ever saw track was at like a high school party where it was a college party. I was home for the summer. And sweetest kid, he was like one of those homeschool kids or like Christian kids who like didn't get out and he was always just a sweet kid. Like of all my little brother's friends, he was one of the ones that I was like, guys, don't mess with track. Like he's sweet, like leave him alone, right? And they're like drawing dicks on his face. And I was like, do not shave his eyebrow off, because that was the thing when I grew up, like house parties in Alaska. It's like whoever passes out first, you get like a penis on your face and then like an eyebrow shaved off. It's like, don't tell me like we didn't know how to have fun. Last time I ever saw him, I like put him in the car because he already had the penis on his face. I was like, do not get your eyebrow shaved off. I put him in my Jeep and I was like, go to sleep. And that's the last time I saw him before his family like went into the zeitgeist and then everything happened with them. And when all that was happening, everybody had all these opinions. And I was like, I know that family from growing up. And when Bristol got pregnant, I remember thinking, oh, Lord have mercy, that could have been me. That could have been us. Like, because the big thing was, don't get pregnant. Like, just don't get pregnant. There's not a lot to do in Alaska. So, like, getting pregnant underage is kind of like, it happens, because what else are you going to do when it's dark half the year? But at the same time, it was also like and then there was all those rumors that, like, was, like, Sarah actually the mom to Bristol's baby, but it's like, nope. But, like, surprise, they're both pregnant at the same time. But remember what a big scandal that was.
Well, I think maybe to your point of what you're saying is, you're having a baby at 27 and you're talking about being younger, but when is the right age to have a child? I think socially speaking, they're saying, don't have a child young, go to college, which is spend more money, get in debt to the schooling system, then go get a job. And now you're looking at, by the time you get out of college, you're in your 30s. So now they're telling women and kids that it's like by the time you have kids, you should be in your 30s.
Yeah.
And then you're demonized for having a child at a young age. Your life's ruined. And then on one end, it's like, you have us who had a child at a young age and we were demonized. And then let's just say, okay, now you have these adopted parents who spent their years in a career and now can't have children because they're old.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then now they waited too long or whatever it may be. You know, I don't know why they can't have kids. But now let's just say, you know, we're just looking at the masses. Now people are waiting too long. And then now what? Now they're going to prey on younger people having kids so then they can have an adoption because they're more... I think it's disgusting. I heard someone else talk about it, and now they're saying that young kids are demonized for having kids, and then you get these old people who spent all their life and career instead of, you know, looking into having a family and things like that, and then they prey on younger people, and you know, as he simply said, and I agree, that they're losers. You know, they're losers, and they shouldn't, like, what they're doing is just absolutely disgusting. I don't believe that I should have been demonized for what I did. You know, I was 20 years old. My ex was going to be 18, and we would have had a brand new child. And I don't see in any way that I was unfit as a parent. Where I was unfit was fighting very established, wealthy, well-connected people in Northern Virginia in family court. That I couldn't do. But when it came to providing for my daughter, whether I was going to be a single father or not, you know, that wasn't even a question. Of course she was going to be provided for her, you know, of course she was going to be taken care of.
So when I first like heard you on a chat, I just was listening and I was like, what is happening here? What's going on with this guy? Because like a lot of things are never what they seem. Like half the time, I mean, I told you what happened when I rolled up in Augusta, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta get out of here, oh shit. And then this thing in Miami, I'm like, oh hey, I literally thought I was gonna be in town for 24 hours, and then it turned into like a story that is either so big and so true, it's gonna get me killed, or it's so big and such a lie, it's gonna get me killed. Either way, I know more than I should. Yeah. And so I'm immediately going like, somebody else take this. But point of the story is I never know what I'm showing up to. And like it's almost like...
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, well, you're like, it's like you had a little Ivy League baby. And it's like, we know what the genetics are on this. We know, like, it's like, I don't know what the term for it is, but like it reminds me almost of like, how royalty used to like select their own.
Yeah, I feel that they selected my child to be an elitist like they are.
Yeah. But that's the kicker. Like, wouldn't she have been?
She would have been fine. Now, the difference is my dad is not...
Do you want to adopt me? I could be your
child.
Right,
and then that's where, you know, my family, my dad's a businessman. He's not a politician. And that's even when wealth is separated in connections. It's like, who do you know?
So the mother of your child, were her parents... Oh, wait, something I want to clarify, and I have vetted you so deeply on this. I've asked you 100 different questions, 100 different ways to make sure I'm not, like, platforming, because if you had actually... If like, rape was involved, then you would have lost your rights to the child. Exactly. And I've checked this story over as many times and is with as many angles and with, like, the photos that you sent me, and, like, those photos... you heard me crying last night. I just was like, okay, I'm going to come and I'm going to do your interview. You're going to be my last one, because this is like, if nothing else, I want this story to be one where you can like look at the camera, talk to your daughter, and say the same thing that you just asked me. Why did I start the Trebuchet season 1? It's like, so if I die and I don't get to ever talk to my kids again because I've been erased from their life by an apex predator, which I call white men apex predators, which like the only way to beat an apex predator is when another apex comes in. It's like 2 T-Rexes or like 2 like great whites. So like you're another great white, but what they don't realize is that what you lack in political connections and affiliations and all that, you just come right up underneath and you flip them over, and now a great white on its belly is nothing. And you're just going, boop, 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 right? Not saying we're like threatening or anything like that. I'm just saying that is what I've realized, that it takes an apex predator
they're definitely in a glass jar. Mm-hmm. They're in a glass jar that is protected from their silence. Something that I saw today, which I thought was kind of interesting on the internet, as always, is this one man was talking about a PSYOP, psychological operation.
Sorry, I just want to make sure I can see
scrap one.
There you go.
And he was saying that anything that has to shut down one opinion to make another opinion flourish you're in a psyop.
Yep.
And then that's when I realized that when it's, hey, don't relitigate the past, do this, and everything is in me that my opinion needs to be shut down for her to flourish, as she said, you know, in a sense of, hey, the only person you're going to hurt is her, so let's keep it quiet.
Yeah, but children always seek to know who their biological family is, because beyond like wanting to know who her parents are, she's gonna have, like, what if her mom and stepdad or her adoptive parents pass away, God forbid, and she has medical questions? Or what if she's got medical questions and they're like, that's why it's almost like they picked this family where they can very easily get whatever information they need to get, because like how hard would it be to find out, oh, you know, your dad died of cancer. Well, it sounds like 4 people in their family died of thyroid cancer, so we should probably like watch out for this genetic thing. You know, it's funny you say that, because when I had the conversation with the adoptive mom that, you know, that you listened to, before then I talked about how my granddad was falling ill to like Alzheimer's and cancer, and it got way worse after the COVID. Like he got the COVID shot, and then after that it just started constantly deteriorating. And you know, one thing that she brought up, she was like, "Oh, like what's wrong?" Like I could tell her like interest of like the medical question, and then so fucked up.
and then it just kind of like disappeared. It went to like, oh, like what's the medical issue, to like kind of like sitting back to
like
you know,
like noted, I will go check that out on my own. She probably like realized she could go get.
Well, I think she was asked. I think it was more she was interested in the question, and then it just kind of went back to her defending her stance on the adoption with me and stuff.
So here's like 3 rapid fire things with you that I wanted to ascertain very quickly. Like 1, was there a drug and alcohol problem? 2, was there any sexual assault or rape allegations? 3, was there any like misfit, like you were not fit to be a father? 4, where are the documents where it actually shows your signature that you signed for this? 5, how would you have these lawyers and adoption agencies' names and information all these years later if somebody didn't call you and give them to you, right?
So there's more information I wish I had, because a lot of information has been hidden from me.
Well, that's where we'll get that in a matter of a...
I wish if some information I get my hands on, that would even settle me even straighter to what's happening here. Here, I can go over some of this.
Okay, wait, the other thing I wanted to say is, when you and the mom met, you were both still in high school.
When we met, we were in high school.
When you met, you were in high school.
Yes.
And you started a relationship while you were
in
both...
high school.
While you were both underage. So you aged out of 18. So they call that
so
a rodeo.
I was 18.
When you met.
When we met. And she would have been a little younger than me. We were both in high school.
But you were still in high school. Okay,
we were in high school.
Okay, so that's called a Romeo and Juliet relationship, where it's long as you're still in school, you're not predatory.
Yes.
If she was a
her
9th
parents
grader,
knew
you were
about it. She went to prom with me.
Yeah.
There was nothing. So that's when, as you brought up before, when the age was brought up, it's something that could, I guess, quickly be pointed fingers to. However, we met in high school. I was not in college, and I was not dating a high schooler. You know, we met in high school. I was
you met in high school. You
age.
Went to college, and you were still kind of.
And then we were talking, and then she graduated and went to college.
So she had the baby in this.
Would have been freshman year of college.
See, now this is the part of like, as a woman, I want to protect that for her, but it's like, how do you, like, what is happening to you in silence is what is happening to like thousands of parents like me in broad daylight. But like, we're grown-ups. Everybody knows that my kids are my kids, and I'm just being punished for having the audacity to tell like a rich, powerful white man, I'm not going to keep your secrets anymore. Like, you know what you did, knock it off, or I'm going to talk about it. That's not extortion. That's accountability.
Well, I look at my parents. My dad was 27 and my mom was 17 when they met.
Okay, well.
And
it was the 80s.
Yeah, it was like, you know, I'm not saying that's okay now. Or
did they get together at that age?
Yeah, my dad owned a company.
Are they still together?
Yeah, my parents are still married, happily married.
Yeah.
You know, my dad was married before, but he's married to my mom now and has been married for over 40 years.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You know, and he's 10 years older than her.
Okay, so your mom and dad, or I'm sorry, so you...
And I'm just saying, I did not do that. I was not a 27-year-old who...
So it was a Romeo and Juliet. She went to college, you went to college, she went to college. And here, like, this is where I remember when I was a freshman in college and we had a few girls pregnant, like, freshman year, and they would, like, dip out for a few months and then come back all of a sudden the next year, but they'd, like, leave the dorm. You're like, what happened? Okay, she went and had a baby. And there was always, like, a stigma with it, right? Because then you're the girl that had the baby. And it decreases your dating options. It kind of, like... it makes you that girl. So, like, her best option would be to have dropped out and then gone back, but she went to, like, one of the kind of, like, you don't say her school, but she went to, like, one of the, like...
community colleges.
Yeah, but didn't at first she go to, like, one of the
She
bigger
went
schools?
to a big school.
Yeah, don't say the
Yeah,
name.
I'm not. She
but
went
like
to a big university.
Yeah, where there's, like, sororities and
Yeah,
like,
and
nowadays,
then,
like...
And then, through the process, I would say first semester she was at the university, and then second semester she was at a community college. Because I know that's when I saw her again.
And was that because she had the baby? And
well,
was it like
she had the baby, and then I'm assuming her parents took her out of college and things like that. I don't know all the details because she wasn't talking to me, but I know she went to community college because someone that I know was in her class, and then that's how we started communicating again.
Okay, so when did she get pregnant? I don't know that part of the
So
time. It would have been like May.
The baby was born January 3rd, which might be too much.
What?
On the date-wise, but beginning of the year.
Okay, don't say the year. Okay, so she would have been born. You guys would have gotten pregnant in like April, May. So the end of the school year. While she was still in high school, you were in college. But again, it's consensual because Okay, so we've written that off as a reason why they could have terminated your parental rights.
Yeah, but I would have had to go to court.
Exactly. But
yeah, I would have to go to court. I would have
Yes.
been convicted of statutory rape, and I would have done jail time.
Was there any accusations of rape?
No.
By her? By the dad? Was there any innuendo?
The mom freaked out when I got the call on, I was getting ready for my exam. I specifically remember I was about to take my math exam in college right before Christmas break when I got the call. Because I remember I told the exam teacher, I was like, oh my God, I think I have a kid. My life's going to flip upside down. So I was like, if I fail this, like, sorry, you know? And, I'm sorry, I'm losing track here. You're talking about...
It was the fall of your sophomore year in college.
Mm-hmm.
You had just found out you're about to have a kid. It was like around Thanksgiving,
Yep.
so you're taking your finals. You
Yep.
got a phone call from who?
So that's when I wrote down that I got a phone call from the adoption agency. Now I remember we were talking, and the adoption agency said that I was notified or acknowledged as the father of...
But when was the last time you had talked to the mother? Had you guys had like a bad breakup? Did you know she was pregnant?
So the last time I talked to the mother was years and years ago. This would have been a couple of years after the baby was born.
No. Before you found out that you were going to be a father. So after she got pregnant, obviously she got pregnant.
She didn't tell me. So I would have spoken to her before Thanksgiving. She didn't tell me. No.
Oh.
She didn't. She hid it from me and her parents. So
But
I would have.
Were you guys still dating?
Yeah, we were talking on the phone consistently.
But you guys were both in college.
We were talking on the phone consistently. We were both in college.
Were you seeing other people?
I wasn't talking to other people openly.
Was she?
I don't believe so. I mean, she would have been pregnant.
Yeah, but even still, is there a chance that it could have been somebody else?
Well, there, as I heard, everyone knows who their mom is. So is there a chance? Of course. But if that's another thing that just tells me...
If you got a notification in the fall of, I'm not going to say the year, but this guy looks familiar, and you got notified that you might be somebody's dad, holler at the Trebuchet, because we're going to chase that lead down. You better believe it. I grew up in Alaska. You think I don't follow this kind of stuff? It's like hooves. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, is there a chance that not saying anything derogatory?
No, it's not. I mean, is there a chance that there's another dad out there? Of course.
But you did a DNA test, right?
I wish. If I did a DNA test, then that means that, 1, the baby would have been born. 2, I would have been there. And that would have messed up everything for them to get the adoption to go through. The last thing they wanted me to do was to be there when the baby was born, let alone have a paternity test.
Yeah. Well, I've seen a picture of the baby, and you look nothing like.
Yeah, I think we have a pretty close resemblance. And,
Was I telling you that last night?
I mean, it's close enough where the adopted parents believe they believe I'm the father.
Spitting. My older brother, I've got a niece. And he got this girl pregnant, like, when he was going through, like, he was getting married, and then, like, hey, you've got a baby, and, like, he's in Iraq, and then it's just, like, so my mom actually went to the hospital, because she's a doctor, so she went when this girl who's saying that this little girl is my brother's, so my mom goes, she sees the baby, she's like, nope, yep, that's ours. That one's ours. No, we're not going to do a DNA test. She's ours. Like,
I'm a
spitting
believer.
image.
Would I do a DNA test now just to find truth? Something I would love to find is just hard truth. I mean, we have the technology, so I would like to know, is she actually mine? Which I would go through this, and I believe that she is.
Okay, devil's advocate. She's not. What happens? We apologize. We say, we're so sorry. We misinformed all of you. We were literally just looking for Bigfoot. We heard that Bigfoot likes beaver pellets, and apparently there's beaver in these woods. We are so sorry. Please don't sue us. That's if you're not the father. If you did a DNA test,
if I was not the father, then, as I said before, I mean, I'd live in peace. Now, do I believe that they definitely screwed another guy over and he doesn't know potentially has a daughter out there? Yeah.
Really?
I'm just saying, like, if I...
Like, you're the patsy? They were like, hey, you're the dad, but really it was somebody else? And that's why they didn't need your signature?
Maybe.
Ooh, that's a plot twist.
Maybe. But that's where what I believe that there is no name. I think that they recognized me as the father. They didn't want me to be the father. So she said that maybe she was sleeping with some other guys. And then there's no... Like, from my understanding, there is no dad. There is no dad on the adoption papers.
Do you have any pictures of you when you were a kid? Oh my gosh, that one.
These pictures is actually when I went and met the adoptive mom in Northern Virginia. She gave me those. So these are the pictures she gave me.
That's suspicious.
So
you're just some random ass guy,
I'm not.
I know, but can you imagine? She's like, you're not the father, but here's pictures of my underage child.
Right.
That's fucking weird.
So not only did they violate my rights when I'm younger, but now when I'm older, if I'm like such a hazard, which thank God and thank them for allowing me to see my daughter a few times.
Which again,
but it doesn't excuse like what they're doing and what they did,
I mean, the good thing is
there's a lot more questions. I mean, if I knew if I knew the adoptive people, the lawyers, and I could pin all of it together, that would be way better for me, and this information is definitely being hidden from me. But what I think is crazy, and something that I think you're touching on with the Family Justice and Accountability Act, is, okay, you have the biological grandparents, right, who don't want this baby. You got the adoptive
biological grandparents on the mom's side or on the
mom's side? Well, I am the dad, so my family was about doing the right thing.
Did they want the baby?
Were my parents surprised and like, oh man, like Jonathan's about to have a baby at 20 years old? Of course. But my parents are family people, they've had a bunch of kids, and they believe that you need, like, they're business people. They believe you need to step up and you need to do what you need to do. And that's how they taught me, and that's what I was going to do. That's what I was willing to step up to do as a man.
Did your parents know your girlfriend's parents? When was the last time you and the mom stopped talking? Like, when was the last time, like, when you found out that you possibly had a baby, did you call her and you're like, the heck? Why are these people calling me? How'd that all go?
So she didn't tell me. I found out because the adoption agency called me, which the adoption agency that I believed it was, when I questioned the adoption mom, she denied knowing them, which is, I wish I could get the name, because if I had the name and it happened to be that person and she's denying it, that's even going to correlate even more,
Is this a
they sent me a couple of Christmas cards, It's a Christmas card they sent me.
Did they pick that name, or was that the name the mom gave?
They picked the name. So they completely wrote me and my family like the American government does not acknowledge that that's my daughter. Their connections in the government, in the family court, and the adoptions agency has completely written her.
So what breaks my heart about this is it's what we were talking about inside. Let's just say you weren't defrauded, right? Let's just say you signed your rights away, or let's just say you were a junkie, or there was good reason for you not to have this kid in your life, whatever. And then you come back all these years later and it's an open adoption and the mom goes, hey, I want to tell you this, blah, blah, blah. You come back and you're like, hey guys, like, I'd like to know my daughter. And your plea was so genuine when I heard what you were asking from the mom. And then when you and I have talked and you're like, I just want my daughter to know I wanted her. I did not want you. Nobody gave me the choice. And as a woman, it's our body, it's our choice. And that is kind of like the one power move that a woman can make is like, I will make the choice with this baby. And it's not fair to you as a human being, like let alone a father. Like it broke my heart that there's a little girl out there. Like my dad has never wasted a breath when he could remind us kids that my mom wanted an abortion with my older brother. He will not waste a breath to say that. Your mom wanted to abort you. Your mom wanted to abort him. And I'm like, fuck, like, do you have to tell us that? Because if she would have aborted him, I wouldn't be here because I was an accident. My mom didn't think she'd have more kids. And I'm like, to know that nobody fucking wanted me in the first place, like, to know that there's a dad out there that, like, wants to know his daughter, like, for me, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm platforming this, is so that someday your little girl can look back at this and go, like, man, that sucks. And, like, if my parents, who she obviously knows and loves these people, because it's like, you can't be raised in a home. It's all she knows.
It's all she knows.
And if you listen to her talking on that, she's clearly protecting this relationship. But, like, how painful is that for you to look at this? Like, there's a mom named Anna Kane who I'll introduce you to when this all goes.
Oh, it's horrible.
But there is a man named Evander Kane. He's an NHL hockey player. He's an informant for the FBI. You guys wonder how a bunch of gamblers are getting popped? A bunch of the pro athletes are getting popped? Yeah, Evander's your snitch. Go fuck him up. Hit him up on the ice. Don't kill him. Just fuck him up, like, because you guys are hockey players. So he's your snitch. Cash Patel, catch me outside Anchorage and we'll talk about it. You owe me a phone call.
But, you know, with these people is they sell themselves on the internet.
She has to see them raising their child. So you have to see them. Okay, go ahead.
So they sell themselves on the internet as like a white picket fence American family.
Yeah.
Full constitutional. We love freedom of speech, the Constitution, all this. But
Fox News Nation.
Yeah, I'm about to say, and then now you can start to see the lies.
I looked for them at the Patriot Awards. I was like walking around, and I was like,
yeah, no, it only takes a couple of questions to start making them, as you heard, for them to start backpedaling and to,
we don't want to relitigate the past.
You know?
So they mailed this to you?
Yes.
So that means they know exactly where you live.
They know where I live, and you know, it's funny, well, I don't know where they live because they made me mail her presents to like a P.O. box. So they kept her location secret, which obviously I know why they did it.
I mean, she's a kid too, but at the same time, like...
Well, they don't trust me.
Well, yeah, but like, look at this. So she's trying to protect this relationship.
Yes.
Because that man is her father. They have a relationship. But what is so sad is, like, does he know that you didn't know?
Yeah, of course they know.
No, but he does?
They know that I wanted to be a father.
This guy does.
Both of them. Them two.
Are you positive? Because I wonder if she's the one who is protecting.
No way. I 100% believe and know that the biological mom, her parents, the lawyers, those people, which I'm happy to say, but I'm not saying now,
when she turns 18.
Coordinated behind my back and went to a hospital in Northern Virginia. And that's why when
what
you listen...
What hospital was it?
Well, when I asked her on the recording, she wouldn't tell me. She hides that information from me intentionally.
Have you ever just done like a peoplesearcher.com? Because now that I know that name and that name, I can just do a people searcher.
I'd love to know.
I could look that. It might be protected because of their government situations.
They know that they intentionally took her to be born in Northern Virginia because if I was there, that would have messed their adoption up. There is no way they did
Where
not
would
know
they have
that.
been? Where else would she have been born? Here? Because the mom's from...
Yeah, she would have been born here.
So they brought her there.
From my understanding, and I am 99% sure, there's a 1%, it's just I don't know exactly what hospital it's from, but they went to Northern Virginia to coordinate, include behind my back, to give her away the second she was born. They did not tell me. They don't want me at the hospital, because if I was at the hospital, it was going to mess them up. There's no way they don't know exactly what they did. And then also when it says about her wanting to find her parent in the future, if you listen to the recording, she says, well, they know they are informed of their adoption. And
they're both adopted?
Yeah, they're both adopted.
Yeah, they look nothing alike.
No.
He looks like he could be.
Yeah,
she
but
doesn't look
they're
like
both
they're
adopted. And then that's when I asked, okay, well, does she know that I didn't sign my rights away? And then her response is, well, we don't go into the legal aspects of the adoption.
We don't want to relitigate.
And we don't want to relitigate. That tells me that, again, hey, you were adopted, we're doing the best for you, this and that. I genuinely believe she believes that I signed my rights away and I did not support her mom.
But at the same time, she's 14. This little girl should know nothing
now,
of any of this.
But now she's seen me at 9 years old. She's seen me at 9 years old. And now she's seen me up to 12 years old. And by the time she was 12, she was getting frustrated because she doesn't know the truth. People get angry because they're confused.
Yeah.
I'm angry because I'm confused, because I don't know of all the things they did. Adoption fraud's a felony, and it should be treated as such.
Is it a felony for everybody who knows, or anybody who was involved? You have to prove that they knew?
That also gets back to something I was trying to say a minute ago as I kind of talked on, was, okay, well, we look at this private adoption agency, we look at their lawyers, we look at them going to Northern Virginia. What, is everybody protected because they just point fingers at each other? There's no accountability.
What year was she born? Oh, right there.
2011.
Okay, so what? Obama was in office. Mm-hmm. So this is pre.
So this would have been pre him being on TV,
and
beforehand.
Before Trump's first.
And then as Trump got into office.
What year was Trump in office the first time? 20. So we gotta go. I gotta go and do my research and see what.
It wasn't far after. It was.
Well, they are both professional communicators.
Yes, they're professionals.
Professional,
they're,
yeah. All the way up here. We control the narrative.
Yeah,
that's why we're not saying their name.
Yeah, professional.
They will shut this down so quick. That's why, I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna be did we say anything? And if we have said your name, we violated your confidentiality in any way, we will take that part out because we are very, 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 very much interested in staying alive and reunifying all of you as one big, healthy, happy family where you guys can come out in support of the Family Justice and Accountability Act so that young men and women aren't defrauded in the the absconding of your parental rights. Your parental rights were absconded.
She's also on the board for the National Council of Adoption, whatever it is, the paper's in there. Mm-hmm. If we call in do they condone that kind of action? Does the National Adoption Agency or whatever, do they condone taking a child to an unknown location to be born, to be hidden away from the father?
So we're in Virginia right now, right?
Yes.
And the baby was conceived in Virginia?
Yes, here.
And the mom was living in Virginia?
Yes.
Well, wasn't the mom living in another state when she was pregnant?
Well, she would have been at the university.
Don't say the university. That was out of a different state.
No. She wasn't conceived in a different state.
No. The mother was pregnant with this child in another state at some point, correct?
Yes.
So then she would have had to have crossed state lines to give birth back into Virginia, correct?
Yeah.
Who paid for that ticket? Because that's trafficking. That means they trafficked a woman across state lines. This is exactly what Diddy's in jail for. It's not the crime, it's the trafficking of the person.
She came home from the university to her parents' house.
So did her parents
to do
pay
Thanksgiving.
So her parents paid for the ticket?
Yeah, so her parents would have paid for her ticket from the university to come home for Thanksgiving. And then she
stayed home from Thanksgiving on.
And then from my understanding, she would have then stayed home from Thanksgiving from then. So then they didn't take the child across state lines before, she was pregnant.
No, but they took the woman across state lines to give birth here. Because what if
nobody knew. I see what you're saying.
What if she wanted this baby?
Yeah.
What if she wanted this baby and she was going to college in another state? Mm-hmm. And her parents were like, absolutely not. You're going to come home and you're going to have this baby. And they forced her to come home. We don't know. We got to give the mom every single benefit of the doubt, because we don't know. Because when was the last time you talked to her?
Yeah, no, we don't know.
Like before you found out from an adoption agency that you were the father of some supposed, like, did you know which mom it was? You got a couple others? Like, did
no,
you?
I wasn't.
Like, when they were like, you might be a dad, you're like, oh, well, I know this baby mama.
Yeah,
I know.
I for sure. Well, the second they said it, I believed it. I knew it, and I believed it.
I did ask him previously the birth control method.
I believe. I see what you're saying. One thing that I'm saying is she didn't tell anybody, so her parents didn't know. I didn't know, from my understanding. Now, as you said, how do we know for sure? I don't know for sure.
What do you mean she didn't tell anybody?
So
how did you get a call at Thanksgiving that you're going to be a father?
Because she was about to have a baby and she couldn't hide her stomach anymore.
So when she came home
When
for
she
Thanksgiving,
came home, her dad thought she put on like some freshman 15.
Oh.
And then he realized that's not a freshman 15, that's a baby in your stomach and you're about to give birth.
And she's like, and they were like, and that deadbeat down the street that lives in this trash hole.
Well,
it
it wasn't
daddy.
even. It's not me being a deadbeat as much as it was for their social impact of the community knowing that their daughter got pregnant. I believe they cared much more about their self-image than they did with that child. That's why her dad, I'll do this and I'll say it to the biological mom's dad looked me in the eyes and said he was going to wipe his hands clean. He did not care about the child. He only cared about his image. He wanted that child gone.
What did the mom say, the biological grandma?
I
need to find out what this
upset, obviously, at first. And it took me years. So this is where...
I will say this. You've done a very good job. Whoever that guy you're just talking about, you've done a really good job of protecting him. Like, I still don't know who he is or what he does or anything like that. I know nothing.
I
so
appreciate
for
that.
for however much he obviously wants to probably throat punch you for trafficking his daughter, your goddaughter. I mean, we should just set up a freaking boxing match. This is the match I want to see.
I'd be down. I will legitimately say
and the grandpa.
I am fully open to mutual combat.
We're kidding.
No,
we're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
But this is how they. This is how they used to solve things back in the day before they had all this.
So I want to tell you a little side
had a
story
duel.
about the biological mom's mom.
Okay. Let's
Because
hear
if it wasn't for her, I never would have met my daughter.
Biological mom's
This
mom.
man was her dad, right?
Okay.
This man in this picture was her father. Funny enough, he was a photographer, and my parents' wedding picture was actually taken by him in their house.
Your parents'
Wedding picture was taken by
your baby mama's
dad.
mom. Your baby mama's.
The maternal.
My
ex's mom.
Your ex's mom. I shouldn't call her baby mama. I joke. I try to keep humor.
But my
in really hard
ex's
stuff.
mom's.
Your
dad.
ex's mom's grandpa, on the mom's side.
Well, it would have been her dad. So it would
Yeah,
my
the
ex's
ex's mom's grandpa.
Yeah.
Did they know that, or just small rich town?
I don't think that they remember it at the time. I think he knows because he took the picture.
That's the grandma?
Yes, that's the grandma. That's her.
And that's the grandpa? Or
that is him. So that's the daughter.
That's her
him.
uncle.
Yes, so that's him.
That's her brother.
Yes, that's her brother.
Okay, so that would be your child's mother's uncle.
Yes.
And then, and 4 grandchildren.
So he passed away. And funny enough, I was saying he took my parents' wedding pictures, which is funny. So he will forever live in their house in memory. And that's why I keep his picture. And actually, I give everything to finding my daughter at the moment because of him. And I believe there had to have been some sort of talk, because when he passed away, there was obviously some father-daughter feelings, because when I contacted her and I communicated about being a father and a daughter, she eventually got me in contact with her, and then that's when she opened up and started sending me, texts.
So how wild. So he's a professional. So
amongst other businesses.
But like a professional photographer, so it says, my grandfather basically brought, so this man whose death spurred all this, my grandfather basically brought candid photography to this location.
Yeah.
Which started in 1906 and grew to 4. So you guys really are like this area royalty. Like if you have to be from somewhere.
When it came to my family and their family, yeah, like we're
Americans
all well-to-do people.
Yeah, like you're whatever this area we're in royalty.
Yes.
And you're not Appalachian royalty. You're the opposite of Appalachian royalty. So we're from opposite sides of the tracks.
They have been in this town for many years.
Do you know what Appalachian royalty is? That's code for white trash.
Well, my dad would laugh and he would agree.
You guys are not Appalachian royalty. You're like, what would they call that? Like old world. You're old world royalty.
Well,
like your
my
original
dad
colonists.
got his GED. He didn't even graduate high school, and he built his dad's business into something big.
Are you guys like multi-generational from this area, on both sides? Like, do you guys trace your lineage to the Mayflower or anything?
Well, my mom's last maiden name is Smith, and then there's John Smith, so there might be some connection there.
You guys should do one of those things. Wow.
But he, as I was saying, he took pictures of my parents' wedding, which I thought was funny, and my parents always said he was a great man, and then when I contacted her. And then this was when my daughter was 9, and I was finally like, I've waited 9 years. I'm going to wait another 9 years. And, what you're doing is wrong, and I need to see my daughter, and this is how you want me to live for the rest of my life. And, she was like, no, like, I don't want you to live like this for the rest of your life. And I thank her for doing that. And then funny, she was like, well, I'm not really in contact with them. But after a couple phone calls, she got me right in contact with them.
What year? So this was when, 2020?
Yeah.
So it doesn't say a month. I guess I could probably find it pretty quick here.
But this also reminds me of when I contacted.
This is right before the pandemic.
Yes, and then that's right when I first saw my daughter.
So you saw this and you were like, or how'd you see this article?
Well, my mom gave me the article. I'm pretty sure in the paper.
And your mom was like, "Did you know that he was our photographer?"
Well, I knew that before he passed away.
So why did your mom give you this?
She was like, hey, this is his thing, and I kept it. I thought, I don't want him to be forgotten. I hope that, my mom gave me this newspaper about him.
So technically, like, let's just, like,
my parents liked him. Like, he was a good man.
Yeah. So, and that's the mother, like, your mom and this woman could have been grandparents.
They could have been friends.
They could have shared a grandchild.
Yeah.
So your mom was like, hey, I still have good feelings towards this woman who could have been a grandmother with me.
Well, it's not
father.
Yes, she has good feelings towards the father.
But is she pissed at her?
Well,
do we need a cage fight for the moms? Because if you guys are going to do a boxing match, if we're going to be putting bets on this.
Something my mom always said, and she meant this genuinely, is, my dad had to go through family court with some of my siblings before, because he was married. But something she said was, one, when I told the adoption agency that I wanted to be a father, when she talked to him, she says, no guy has ever done that. So even they were kind of shocked. And then when all this started playing out, and they stole my due process and my 14th Amendment, so my mom said, she was like, I can't believe someone would take someone else's child.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. She was like, this just doesn't make sense to me. And talking about it and things like that, I mean, it hurts them. And what hurts my parents a lot is definitely seeing my pain. I think that they definitely wish that I could move on a little bit more.
Is there any world that exists where, like, your mom and her mom just sit together and talk, or your dad and his dad just sit? Like, did your dads ever talk? Because that's what this feels like. This is a Romeo and Juliet. Why did the parents not?
So when I came back in 2010 to come back up here to Virginia, my parents and my ex's parents met. Well, it wasn't even my ex's parents. The wife, never came out. Now the husband, he came out and talked to my parents. And
who? The husband?
Yeah.
This guy?
So
Wait, him?
yeah,
Him?
There should be some small pictures in here, like some little
It looks
squares.
like you're having a good life, though. I know it's not a consolation. Is he their child?
No.
He's adopted?
Yeah. Which also, how in the hell did they adopt 2 kids?
How
At the
far
same time?
apart they are?
They're close.
Like a year?
They're close.
Have you ever reached out to that family? Have you ever searched that down, or you have no idea?
Honestly, the boy.
We haven't said anybody else's name.
He was a nice kid. He was super open. He was like, oh man, like when is he coming over? Like the kid's great. I think
Like
he's
the
awesome.
little boy liked
the
you?
little boy, yeah, the
He's
little
like, what
boy's
up?
awesome.
This guy's cool.
Yeah.
Did they know who you were? Like,
They know.
The little kids know that you're. So
They
this
know.
little boy
knows
that his
I was-
sister's
that I
dad
was the
is
dad,
you.
yeah.
See, like that's got to be so hard for this guy, because those aren't his kids, but they're also his kids, and like that's got to be like
they're lying to. That they're fucking lying to. So
I mean, we genuinely need to get down to the bottom of. I get it that you think that like these people are bad people, but maybe they're actually just as innocent and they got caught up in a scam as well. Like we have to give this mother and father the benefit of the doubt that they didn't do this intentionally. Like maybe nobody did any of this intentionally except for the adoption people. Did they, because didn't she say that they paid like a lawyer? Oh, and also I wanted to talk to you. We ran that recording by our legal team because I do everything I'm not trying to get sued for this. And the legal team said that because you were recording in order to obtain evidence of a crime, it's a legal recording and it was done in a public place. And with like where it was done, it's like 100%. There's no legal ramifications. Nobody gets in trouble. I don't get in trouble if I ever choose to air it. You
Yeah.
don't get in trouble. But when you are like, I understand that you believe that these two committed a crime. I'm not convinced that these two committed a crime. I think that maybe they were defrauded and they are actually just as innocent as you and the mother.
I could have definitely had a relationship with him, and it's hard to say because a part of me is like, at no point would I've ever stopped fighting for my daughter. But after the recording, after what she said, after she held information from me, no genuinely good religious person within the best interest of their family would have responded the way that she responded.
Can I give the benefit of the doubt, as a mother, without being disrespectful to you?
Yeah, of course.
I think she got scared, and she wanted to protect her relationship with him. And as a mother, you have to protect that relationship here. So I think she was like, I am now in a position where, because she tried to be nice about it, and I think she realized she's in a position where they got defrauded. I think that they got defrauded. I think that they're innocent. Until I see evidence.
I am not going to say that that's not untrue, but there is no way that I believe they did not know that I wanted to be a father.
Okay,
they
but maybe
knew that baby needed to come up to Northern Virginia, or I was going to mess up the adoption.
Why Northern Virginia?
So I didn't know. One, they live up there, so it was just a location.
Are you sure it was in Northern Virginia, or do you think it could have been in D.C. or Maryland?
Oh my God, if they cross state lines to do it, then I would love that, because that goes into your child trafficking cross state lines. But I believe it was in Alexandria.
But again, respectfully, I'm going to continue to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I can't just be like, boom, you guys stole a child without because you got to go all the way through.
No, I think
and
that's
based
great.
on what she said, I think that the real person is whoever this lawyer is and this adoption person, and I don't think they knew.
I would point more towards my ex's dad. I would say, if anything, he was the one that wanted the baby gone. Now, to say that they weren't a part of that, I, give them the benefit of the doubt. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's great. They give them the benefit of the doubt. But I find it hard to believe that they didn't know.
Okay, if I were to, because
seeing how she's continually to hold the information from me. And if she knew she wanted the best thing for my daughter, then as I said before, I was like, why are you going to let my granddad die without seeing his great-grandchild?
That was the part that hurt me when I listened to your voice memo, or to that voice recording. And whenever I've talked with you, I'm like, but what do you want? What do you want? And you're like, I just want my daughter to know that she has family that loves her and wants the best for her. And I want her to know these amazing people, because once they're gone, they're gone. And
they're gone. And I don't think she has any remorse. I think they're much more inclined on, keeping their narrative. When it kind of comes to manipulation and propaganda, it's like seeing a quarter on the ground. You only see one side of the quarter if you don't go and pick it up. And sometimes it takes a lot for someone to go out there and try and pick that quarter up.
This is really sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It absolutely breaks my heart. It's tough when you were calling me on the phone and you were upset about it.
I know. I was like sobbing.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want your daughter to know that you loved her as a father.
I promise you.
And she was conceived in love.
I promise you that there was many, many, many years it would have been very difficult for me to sit here and talk to you about it, on how hard it was for me.
Okay, I've got 3 rapid questions because we're going to lose daylight, and then I want to go grab some pictures inside of this photos you're talking about. One, this person and I may or may not have a similar employer. So if I am able to reach that person through a joint employment situation through media, how pissed would you be if I invited them on?
Do it.
Yeah? You wouldn't be mad at me, like on a personal level?
Do it.
And if I'm like,
Ask
okay,
him.
guys, this fucking dude crazy, because I want to protect you as a
him.
whistleblower and as a victim, but at the
if
same time, if they show up with some intel and they're like, listen up, this guy was high.
If they show up and they actually talk to you about it, blow my mind. It'd blow my mind.
Okay, and what if you're not the dad? I'm
One, I would say all 3 of us believe I'm the dad. The only thing that's going to solve that is to have a paternity test.
Okay.
But let's say they gave me a paternity test, now I'm going to be digging my heels even further. How'd you take my daughter?
I mean, I honestly think that the only way that this ends in a peaceful way is that I have to talk to them and have to say, hey, like, I did this, I need comment. Respectfully, like, we've not shared your names because you're public figures, but
Is this real?
is it real?
Is this real? Is this guy lying to me, or is this real? Like, what is this?
If I had shown up anywhere but this like freaking situation, like I would be. And I met one of your coworkers, and so there's somebody here to vouch for you. We've got a witness. Like, I have this address. I can, do fact checks.
From what you've heard, I have been trying to gather information, and they've been hiding information. I can prove.
I think that they are innocent, and they got defrauded by this person. I think that this person, I'm going to do some research because I think that they might be part of something.
I hope you're right.
I
hope you're right.
Can you stay open to the
No,
fact
I'm
that maybe
open.
they're not the villains? Maybe they are just as innocent as you, and all they wanted was a child, and now all they're seeking to do is to protect this little girl.
Then I hope, as I said,
because
as I said to her, as I said to her, I just want you to treat me like family. And I said that in the recording. All I want is for you to treat me like family. And if they're innocent and everything else they want that, I just want to be treated like family. That's it.
Yeah, that's fair.
I could go over to their house, shake hands, be friends.
No boxing matches necessary.
No boxing matches necessary, We don't
have to do a Jerry Springer reunion. We can do a hey everybody, we're going to do a very sweet and loving family reunion.
I'm like, when have you ever invited me to a birthday or anything? She's like, you didn't do that. Yet I have a text that predates, hey, will you come to my birthday at my location, at my house? The
daughter said that?
No, the
mom?
Adoptive mom. That when I asked, why have you never invited me to like a cookout or anything like that? Yeah. And she's like, well, you never invited us. And I'm like,
okay, so what about that? What if you invite them to something? Like right now, you still have their contact?
I'll tell you what, you get in touch with them, you ask them, I'll invite them out, we'll all be friendly, we'll have a glass of wine, and hopefully
I'll bring my RV, I'll park my RV. Wait, it's got an outdoor TV.
if
We could do a little
as I said,
situation.
if I said, as I said, I'll say 1,000 times, if you can talk to this man, you can ask him questions, give him the benefit of the doubt, please. You're giving me the benefit of the doubt, and you don't even know who I am. Of course you should give him the benefit of the doubt. And if somehow you can make this be a happy family, I'm forever grateful. I'm forever grateful for
because
you.
there's another factor in this.
I don't want to hurt my daughter.
Yeah, no, of course. That's who we're prioritizing here. But the thing is, it's we have to know that there's something going on there too. And whatever opens here.
Yeah.
And we have to be willing to accept that they are just as innocent in this as you. And
I hope that's the case.
There is another person involved where the mother can still remain anonymous in all of this, even if they go public.
If this name is real, and that is who the name's real.
And she called you?
So I have written down that this lady called me. In the recording, the adoptive mom denies heavily even knowing who that woman is.
And she said
so
that
if
it was
you're
a
saying,
lawyer.
if you're saying that this lady is in fact the adoption agency and defrauded them, and on top of it, she's denying knowing him, there's no way that could be true.
How could you have that name if that person didn't contact you?
Well, because I believe she contacted me.
But is there somewhere you could have Googled it and been
I did Google it.
Yeah, but how could you have gotten that name without?
I wrote the name down because I have a letter here that when you say you should write your daughter a letter, I did this years ago, and in it, the first thing I say.
Here, let's go inside and look at this stuff in the light.
But I wrote the name down. I don't have a date on it, unfortunately. I'm only so good.
You're like, I was 20.
Yeah, my mom was like, write it down. And I wrote that name down. That name on that paper is actually my dad's writing because he wrote it down when I was like, I want the name of the adoption lawyer, because when I called Elise, I wanted the name, and I said the name to her. She didn't respond.
That's the mom.
I just said Sharon Gustafson. She didn't repeat anything back. And she goes, okay. And then
that's your
the
child's
agency.
Got it.
Was Sharon Gustafson. Then when I asked Rebecca about Sharon Gustafson, which isn't recording, she's like, I don't know who that is. I don't know. I go, well, what about Sharon Gustafson? She's like, I just told you I don't, she heavily denies. No.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll check those names. I'll run those
Sharon
names down.
Gustafson is a very specific name. I didn't just come up with that name out of nowhere.
It is a very specific name.
It is a very specific